How are you doing, guys? ZDEyE here. So this was really unexpected. Never knew this would be coming like today, and it's basically all about Armored Core 6 Vibes of Rubicon that is in fact will indeed be coming out on August 25th. I've reported about this, I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago, regarding its news that it will indeed be coming. And yeah, there's just so much more towards this that I actually was not expecting. So we've got an opportunity of checking out its brand new trailer, and if some snippets of cuts in terms of its combat, gameplay, and the traversal and shooting and all that good stuff within this game that's going to contain. So now that the game is coming out so soon, it's genuinely is a little bit surprising that why did it reveal now? Why not wait for a big showcase? Make it more bombastic. But also it kind of makes sense. Maybe they just want to start with the pre-orders now. Maybe they were not exactly too confident because it's a departure compared what From Software's usually do in their games. But now that they came back into Armored Core series, since they are pretty much the masters of it, right? Like back in the day, I think it was like Armored Core 5, it came out like 2013, 2012 or something like that, and now the follow-up is going to be a decade later. And genuinely, by the looks of things, I will be honest with you guys, the first thought on my mind when I was checking out this brand new trailer, I don't know how I feel about this. It's not the excitement that I felt that I did from this Game Awards that I've seen it. And in this case, when I seen this trailer, I was like, man, what is this? I'm kind of confused. But also, maybe it doesn't make sense because I'm not exactly familiar with the Armored Core series. I did not play any Armored Core before. That's why I cannot comment and tell you like, oh man, this is gonna be amazing. This is awesome looking. This is bad looking. I don't know. Genuinely, this is the reason why I make this kind of like an assumption, if that makes sense. But you know what, guys, after that I looked it up online, checked it out, did a little bit of research. I was actually shocked to see what kind of additions that this game will have as well. I'm just looking at it right now, while I'm looking at it, it's just insanity for me personally. So there's basically going to be multiple of additions that are going to be available. And I was really contemplating and thinking about it, should I actually make a separate video about this? And I think I will, because it's actually a big deal. It's going to be a full title game, right? So you're going to have to pay extra dollars for this. There's going to be digital deluxe edition, the deluxe edition itself. There's also going to be collector's edition. Yes, there's also even going to be something a tier higher than that. They call it a premium collector's edition, just like it was in Elden Ring. If you guys did not know, I actually got the premium collector's edition of Elden Ring. I made a video about that, unboxing. Check it out if you haven't seen it. But the thing is, you could actually damn afford the damn thing. But now, if you want to get this collector's edition first, right, I want to get in collector's edition, it costs 250 euros. Fine, that's understandable. Obviously, it's going to cost more since it's going to be in terms of the the fee, the delivery, and stuff like that. And I cannot imagine how much this will cost in the other countries. Man, that's going to be ridiculously expensive because I'm not done yet. The premium collector's edition is ridiculously high. It costs as much as the console usually does. Well, it's a little less, but it basically costs 450 euros. Absolutely insanity. This amount of money didn't even cost for its Elden Ring Premium Collector's Edition. And now I'm looking at it. No, thank you. This is ridiculous because I know for a fact that I don't know if I will like this game, and so I just don't know if I want to pick up this such a premium, like targeted sort of for like audience, right? So the audience that genuinely do know about this and about this game and they know they're gonna love this, great, let them get their hands on this edition, and more power to them, because I'm not gonna be picking this up for sure. I don't think I'm gonna get the collector's edition either because I don't know the series and I don't know if I will genuinely like it. I like From Software Souls-like types of games. That's why I was confident of picking up the premium editions of their tiers and like I mentioned. But this I don't know. And I wanted to read out this little article regarding of its brand new details, regarding its gameplay and all that good stuff as well. It's coming from PlayStation Blog. This is very important for me to read out because I want to get some kind of idea what the hell this is, because we're talking about From Software here. It's a big deal. And anyway, let's get into it. My God, it's been a while since we heard a little bit about this game. I'm kind of excited to hear more about it too. Alright, From Software is one of the most beloved developers around, creating modern classics like Bloodborne, Sekiro and Elden Ring that has enchanted and engrossed players worldwide. But let's go back into the time back in 1997 when From Software released the cult hit Armored Core on the original PlayStation, and players were enthralled by its mix of intense mech fighting action and strategic customization. The series has been cherished in the eyes of the fans since, garnering multiple spin-offs and sequels over the years. Now, 25 years after the players first built their custom cores, and 10 years after the last entry, Armored Core returns August 25th and is packing plenty of heat. We sat down with From Software to get first look at the gameplay of Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon to learn about the latest in mech action. Alright, so those whose primary experience with From Software comes from the games like Bloodborne or Elden Ring might be curious about what expect from the Armored Core 6. You play an augmented mercenary piloting a huge customizable mech, yet while the pace and the structure of mech piloting action fundamentally differ from the other games in the studio's catalog, players will rest assured that the smooth, responsive controls they've come to expect in From Software games is still here, just in a little different context. Think giant, heavily equipped robots with the ability to zip around across ground and air, reacting at the lightning-fast speeds to attack and threats while trying to one-up dangerous foes with even more firepower at their disposal. Interesting. So Armored Core 6 is a new story that takes place on the planet Rubicon, where the powerful energy source called Coral has been discovered. But this isn't stuff that looks pretty. Aquarium, I believe that's you said, aquarium? Sorry, that's how you pronounce it, I assume. Coral is extremely volatile, and it's already caused a massive disaster that nearly turned all Rubicon to ash many years prior. But those futuristic megacorps just can't resist the siren song of Coral and continue to war for it to this day. Various areas of Rubicon are filled with contrasts, as the hollowed out industrial ruins from the aforementioned disasters smolder beneath the shiny shell of state-of-the-art mining constructions encasing the planet. It's an intricate and multi-layered world brimming with megastructures and enormous underground facilities built by the former inhabitants. These structures cover a planetary surface racked. For a second I want to say wrecked, but it's racked I guess, with extreme cold and contamination in the aftermath of the Great Disaster. Alright, so the player will be able to explore these various environments as they proceed, says game director Masaru Yamamura. So the expansive environments will deliver an incredible sense of scale, maintaining the quality we've come to expect from software world design maestros. And with your Armored Core, or AC for short, advanced movement skills, you'll be able to explore these large open spaces to your heart's content. You'll be encountering lots of different sceneries and objectives as you advance through the game's mission-based progression structure like previous entries. There will be missions where you're fighting across sweeping battlefields, very combat-orientated, Omamaru explains. But you'll sometimes be covering data logs from wreckage and doing some other objectives too. So, Assault Boost is one of the biggest new features in Armored Core 6 is a instantaneous switch between long-range gunfight and close-range melee, thanks to the button-activated movement skill called the Assault Boost. Assault Boost is an offensive action that helps close the gap between the enemies and let you quickly go from the long range to close range, Yamamoto tells us. It will also provide some incredible chain abilities when fighting, as he describes it vividly. Say you activate Assault Boost to make your approach while using machine gun fire and missile salvo to stagger the enemy, and then use your Pulse Blade to score a direct melee hit once you're up close. So there's also stagger, yet another additional to the series. Combat is a stagger element. If an AC takes too much hit over the short period of time, its attitude control system will be overloaded, making it vulnerable for the short time. Both continuous hits and big, powerful strikes will cause stagger damage, encouraging you to keep up the pressure on the opponent. The damage inflicted and the enemy's stagger gauge varies from the weapon to weapon, and can also be affected by factors like distance, addition, strategy in the equipping, and using these ornaments in the combat. Actually, there's a little bit of inspiration coming from software, Souls games as well. I'm noticing like a trend here, but also it's possible that all of this may have been already in the previous Armored Core games. I'm not too sure, of course. We asked Kamamoto how the pace and feel of the game compares to the previous entries. The average movement speed across the game is somewhere between Armored Core 3 and Armored Core 5, he replies. But Armored Core 6 has been developed to bolster the change of tempo in combat. With the instantaneous burst of speed and sudden change of tempo, combat can often reach the dizzying heights of, saying, Armored Core 4. Fighting, and let's continue in here with the fighting challenging bosses. The series' big boss encounters are back, and the metal monstrosities you'll encounter look bigger and more intimidating than ever. There will be a rich variety of powerful enemies of all shapes and sizes, says Yamamura. Huge combat helicopters, heavily armored mobile turrets, and unmanned heavy demolition machinery that's programmed to indiscriminately crush intruders. Armored Core 6 will offer a number of explosive battle experiences that challenge players to fight against the odds and overcome these ginormous, more abnormal mechs. In addition to these large bosses, you'll even fight against other AC and humanoid mechs in high-octane duels. And in grand From Software tradition, it may take several attempts to some experimentation with your AC equipment to fully learn and adapt to a boss's quirks. So better prepare yourself, as Armored Core 6 will offer numerous cathartic explosive battles that truly test your skills. Customizing is the key part of the Armored Core's experience. You have access to assortment of parts to upgrade and fine-tune the power of your AC. 4 slots of holding weaponry, 1 of each hand and 2 on the back, giving you a lot of space to experiment with custom loadouts. What kind of weapon are we talking about? Bazookas, Gatling guns, split missiles, plasma rifles, and all the perennial favorites. There are a bunch of new close-range weapons too. On one aspect we focused on the Armored Core 6 is melee weapons, exclusively equipped to the left hand, Yamamura continues. They can include cluster bomb thrower, a chainsaw or a pulse blade, lancers, and other more idiosyncratic of the weapons. Since the main weapon are firearms, the melee weapons are more focused on that strength of the individuality. Add in custom paint job and liveries and you'll be able to create a unique AC that's your own. There's more good news for the long-time Armored Core fans. The Arena, much cherished mode where you can fight series of battles against a wide array of specially customized mechs, makes its return in Armored Core 6 as a combat aptitude evolution program or simulated training exercise. There are a lot of different AC frames, a lot of colorful characters to fight in the arena, and we hope that the players confront them all and aim for the top rank. You can even encounter a real version of these opponents while out on the missions. These are more formidable and than they are in the simulated counterparts, and will confront the protagonist with their own ideals and motives in the heat of the battle. Perfecting your combat skills won't be only reason you'll want to return to the front line. There will be multiple endings to Armored Core 6 narrative, with new paths opening up on subsequent playthroughs, giving players plenty of incentive to explore the world and story thoroughly. What will be the ultimate fate of Rubicon? Well, that's all up to you. With the pedigree From Software and a long-running series behind it, Armored Core 6 is going to be one to watch for the fans of intense, challenging action games. Preparing for the mech action-packed end of the summer when Armored Core 6 launches on PS4 and PS5 on August 25th, 2023. Well, after reading this article, and by the way, this is my first time reading it, yeah, I gotta say, it kind of gave me a little bit of a better sense of what to expect out of this game. And the thing is, I'll be honest, I don't know if it's necessarily for me. But I'm not gonna be closed-minded about it. I still want to try it. It seems like it's gonna be one of those bigger games that's more targeting for Maybe that would be a little bit brutal to say this, but more towards niche audience, especially audience that have been, long-time fans of Armored Core, and perhaps newcomers as well that will get into it. But I just don't see the similar reception that we did with the Elden Ring. Now, I could be wrong, obviously I could be, but yet it's still gonna be interesting to see how this will perform. I'm curious. I want to pick it up, I want to try it out, I want to experience it. I'm a little bit worried about it. I hope it does, well for From Software, and we shall see if it even gets a sequel or whatnot, like Armored Core 7. It's gonna be crazy, obviously. Well, guys, that's all I want to have a little bit of a discussion regarding it. A little bit. It's actually dragged on far longer than I expected. But yeah, like and subscribe. See you guys all later, and have a wonderful day.